So, April 16th, the year is 2009. I'm here again on the rooftop of my home in Gokulam, Mysore, India. And today I've been reading from a book entitled The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. And we're fortunate here in Gokulam to have the Ramakrishna ashram and bookstore, and such an amazing wealth of wisdom and spiritual knowledge is there. Sri Ramakrishna, considered to be one of the more authentic and popular saints of India of this recent modern era. He was born in the year 1836 and died in the year 1886. A great living example of a self-realized soul. That means somebody who has come into direct first-hand experience of the true self, the essence of the self, and one whose ego, one whose sense of separation from all of reality has completely dissolved. This book, The Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, is basically a compilation of his day-to-day life, stories about his day-to-day life, lots of dialogues that he had with his direct disciples. There were 16 direct devotees, disciples that he had, all of whom went on to establish large groups of followers, produce tremendously large amounts of literature, and have basically revolutionized his teachings and spread it across the entire world since his passing. The ashram here is beautiful. It's a great sanctuary of spiritual practice and a refuge for many, many people. They have a school and of course a group of monks or renunciates who practice full-time. The thing that I really was most remarkable to me today in reading these stories is just sort of reflecting on what it's like to really live spiritual life, not just superficially, but in the deepest sense of the word. How important it is to understand what it means to be spiritual, and to always strive to go beyond the superficial, go beyond the mere words and mere actions of spiritual practice, and to embody the essence of spiritual practice. And really the essence here means that you recognize that what keeps us bound, what keeps us in a state of suffering, is our ego, our attachment to the more superficial aspects of the self, our preferences, attachment to our preferences, attachment to our opinions, likes and dislikes, any notion of me, myself, and mine that is separate from others, separate from all things, And so that means that true spiritual life, to live it in a very real way, and again, you know, it's relatively easy to mouth the words, to read books, and to repeat what they say, to do the actions of spiritual practice, to do asana practice, to do even chanting. All these kinds of things you can do superficially, and that is without having your mind in the right place, without having the right attitude. We can do our little bits of superficial practice and then, you know, not being mindful of what our thoughts are doing, continuing to behave in ways and to think in ways that keeps us attached to ourselves, to our bodies. So I think it's important to ask yourself, like, what does it mean to really let go of one's personality, to really put one's entire mind and heart towards that which is spiritual, towards that which is godly, and to truly renounce, again, not renouncing in just behaviorally or in words, but in your deepest heart of hearts, to let go of your pride, to let go of any sense of trying to protect yourself or to maintain some kind of sense of personality, to begin to let go of fear and anxiety, and to have that trust in that which is spiritual, that which is unseen. I think this is very, very powerful to reflect on, and I think it's important to do this moment to moment, day to day, week to week, month to month, as much as we can.